The first thing Chinedu noticed was that his own mother refused to look him in the eyes. Not because he had failed, not because he had returned empty-handed, but because everyone in the village had been hiding the same terrible secret for 5 years. He had crossed deserts, he had survived hunger, he had nearly died working in a foreign country. Every month without fail, he sent every naira he earned back home, build the family house, start the transport business, take care of mama. I'll come home after 5 years. Everyone told him everything was going well. Everyone lied. Because the day Chinedu stepped back into his village, he discovered there wasn't a single house. There wasn't a single business. And the woman he had promised to marry was carrying another man's child. Before this heartbreaking story continues, subscribe now and become part of this storytelling family. New emotional African stories every week. Now, let's begin. The small village of Umudike woke up every morning to the sound of roosters, motorcycles, and women sweeping dusty compounds before sunrise. It was a place where everyone knew everybody's name, where good news spread quickly and bad news spread even faster. Among all the young men in the village, nobody worked harder than 24-year-old Chinedu. His father had died when he was only 16, leaving behind an old mud house that leaked every rainy season and a family drowning in poverty. His mother sold roasted corn by the roadside. Some days she came home with enough money to cook. Some days she didn't. Chinedu carried cement on construction sites. He loaded bags of rice in the market. He farmed during planting season. At night, he repaired broken generators for extra money. Still, it was never enough. Many evenings he would return home exhausted, only to find his younger siblings pretending they weren't hungry. Those silent moments hurt him more than hard labor ever could. One evening, while sitting beneath the giant mango tree at the village square, his girlfriend Adiaze placed a small wrapped piece of roasted yam into his hands. "I know you skipped lunch again," she smiled. "You should eat." Chinedu looked at her. "You always know." She laughed softly. "I don't need anyone to tell me. You work yourself like a machine." Adiaze wasn't rich either. She sold vegetables beside the local market with her widowed mother. Yet, somehow, whenever Chinedu had nothing, she always found something to give him. Sometimes food, sometimes encouragement, sometimes simply her presence. "I promise you," Chinedu whispered, "one day I'll build you the biggest house in this village." She squeezed his hand. "I don't want the biggest house. I just want a peaceful home." Those words stayed inside his heart. Months later, an opportunity arrived. A man from the neighboring town claimed he could help young men travel overseas for work. The cost was enormous. The risk was even greater. Many people warned him, "What if it's a scam? What if you never return? What if you die?" But Chinedu had already made up his mind. "If I stay here, my family will remain poor forever." His mother cried the entire night before his departure. Adiaze couldn't stop wiping tears from her face. Under the same mango tree where they first dreamed together, Chinedu removed a small silver ring from his pocket. It wasn't expensive. In fact, it was the only valuable thing he owned. He gently placed it into Adiaze's palm. "Wait for me, no matter how long it takes." She slipped the ring onto her finger. "I will wait. I don't care if it's 5 years. I'll be here." The entire village gathered to wave goodbye the next morning. His younger brother, Emeka, hugged him tightly. "Don't worry, brother. I'll take care of everything. Focus on making money. I'll supervise the builders. I'll make sure Mama never suffers again." Chinedu smiled. "I trust you." Those 4 words would later become the greatest mistake of his life. The journey abroad was nothing like the agent had promised. The first months were pure suffering. He slept with 8 other men inside one tiny room. He worked 18-hour shifts washing dishes, carrying heavy boxes, and cleaning warehouses. His hands became covered in cuts. His back constantly ached. Winter was so cold that some mornings he couldn't feel his fingers. Still, he never complained. Every payday followed the same routine. He kept only enough money to survive. Everything else he sent home. Each transfer carried instructions. Continue building the duplex. Buy 2 commercial buses. Register the transport company. Pay my siblings' school fees. Fix Mama's shop. A few days later, Emeka would call. "Brother, the workers are roofing the upstairs. People can't stop admiring the house. The first boss is already making money. Mama is smiling again." Every phone call filled Chinedu with fresh determination. Whenever exhaustion overwhelmed him, he imagined returning home. He pictured Adaeze standing at the gate of their new house. He imagined his mother laughing inside a modern kitchen. He imagined children running around the compound he had built through years of sacrifice. That dream became stronger than hunger, stronger than loneliness, stronger than pain. Years passed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every birthday he celebrated alone. Every Christmas he worked extra shifts. Every wedding invitation from home he politely declined. "I'll celebrate when I return permanently." He never bought expensive clothes, never traveled, never wasted money. His co-workers mocked him. "You don't enjoy life. You work like a slave." He would simply smile. "I'm building a future." What Chinedu didn't know was that back in Umudike, there was no construction, no transport company, no investment, no savings, no future. Every naira he sent disappeared before sunrise. Emeka had discovered gambling, then alcohol, then women. Soon, the entire village knew him as the man who spent money like a politician. He bought drinks for strangers, paid hotel bills for different women, placed reckless bets every weekend. Whenever people asked where all the money came from, he proudly replied, "My brother is making dollars overseas." Some elders warned him, "You are destroying your brother's future." He laughed. "Another transfer will come next month." And another, and another. Meanwhile, thousands of kilometers away, Chinedu continued breaking his body to build a life that no longer existed. Then, one rainy afternoon, everything changed. Immigration officers walked into the warehouse where he worked. Within minutes, his entire world collapsed. He never imagined that after surviving 5 years abroad, his journey home would begin in handcuffs. The flight landed in Lagos just before sunrise. As Chinedu stepped onto Nigerian soil, he carried only one small, worn-out bag. 5 years abroad, 5 years of sweat, 5 years of sacrifice, reduced to a single backpack. He felt ashamed, not because he had been deported, but because he believed he was returning with nothing. Still, one thought comforted him. At least my family is safe. At least the houses are standing. At least the business is making money. At least Adaeze is waiting for me. Those thoughts gave him enough strength to smile. He had no idea every single one of them was a lie. After spending the night in a cheap park in Lagos, Chinedu boarded an old commercial bus heading to Imo State. Every kilometer closer to home filled him with excitement. He imagined surprising his mother. He imagined hugging his younger siblings. He imagined walking into the transport company he had spent 5 years financing. He even rehearsed the words he would say to Adaeze. "I'm sorry I stayed away so long, but we're finally together." He smiled to himself. Passengers beside him assumed he had just won the lottery. In reality, he was traveling towards the greatest heartbreak of his life. As the bus entered Umudike village, something immediately felt wrong. He looked through the dusty window. The narrow roads were the exact same. The broken community borehole still leaned to one side. The abandoned primary school still had its collapsing roof. "Maybe our house is farther inside," he whispered. Then he reached his family's compound. His smile disappeared.
Jesus.
The old mud house was still standing. The same cracked walls, the same rusted zinc roof, the same broken wooden door. Nothing had changed. For several seconds, he simply stood there, unable to breathe, unable to think, unable to move. Slowly, the door opened. His mother stepped outside. The tray she was carrying slipped from her hands. Roasted corn scattered across the ground. "Chinedu," she whispered. Before she could hug him, she burst into tears. Not tears of joy, tears of guilt. He hugged her tightly. "Mama, what happened? Why are we still living here?" She couldn't answer. She only cried harder. Inside the house, everything looked exactly as he had left it 5 years earlier. The old mattress, the broken chairs, the cracked ceiling, even the cooking pots were the same. His voice trembled. "Mama, where are the buses? Where is the business? Where are the millions of naira?" Silence. His younger sister began crying. His younger brother stared at the floor. Finally, his mother spoke. "Your brother, Emeka, he told us the money stopped coming after your first year." Chinedu froze. "What?" "He said you lost your job. He said you begged him not to tell us. He gave us little money once in a while. We believed him." The room became completely silent. Every heartbeat sounded louder than thunder. Then, Chinedu asked the question he was afraid to hear. "Where is Emeka?" No one answered, because everyone knew Emeka had disappeared 2 weeks earlier after hearing that Chinedu had been deported. The truth spread through the village before sunset. Old men came shaking their heads. Women covered their mouths in disbelief. Neighbors confessed everything. Your brother bought expensive drinks every weekend. He almost gambled every night. He had different girlfriends. He bought motorcycles for women. He rented hotel rooms. He lost fortunes in betting. One elderly man held Chinedu's shoulder. "My son, we wanted to tell you, but your brother threatened everyone. He said you'd stop sending money." Each sentence felt like another knife entering his heart. 5 years, gone, without a single break to show for it. Despite everything, there was one person he still believed would heal his broken heart. Adaeze. She had promised. She had waited. She wore his ring. Or so he believed. That evening, he walked towards her mother's compound. Each step carried hope. Then he saw her. She was standing outside. One hand rested gently on her stomach. She was heavily pregnant. At first he smiled. Maybe she was married? Maybe life had simply moved on. Then a familiar voice came from inside the house. "Baby, who is outside?" His heart stopped. Out walked his childhood best friend, Obinna. The same Obinna who used to eat in his mother's house. The same Obinna who promised to look after Adaeze until he returned. The same Obinna who called him my brother. Neither of them spoke. For several seconds, nobody moved. Then, Adaeze began crying. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Chinedu looked at the ring. It was gone. "When?" he asked quietly. "When did this happen?" She couldn't answer. Obinna lowered his head. "I tried to resist, but after 3 years, everyone believed you weren't coming back. His words faded. Nothing he could say mattered anymore. Chinedu nodded slowly. "I understand." No shouting, no fighting, no insults. He simply turned around and walked away. That night, he sat alone beneath the same mango tree where he had once promised Adaeze a beautiful future. The tree hadn't changed, only his life had. For the first time in years, he cried. Not because of the money, not because of the house, not even because of Adaeze. He cried because the people he trusted most had destroyed the future he sacrificed everything to build. He had left as the village's greatest hope. He had returned with nothing. The next morning, an elderly carpenter found him sitting under the tree. "My son, I heard what happened." Chinedu forced a smile. "My life is over." The old man laughed softly. "No, it has only restarted." He pointed toward the rising sun. "Money can disappear. Houses can be stolen. People can betray you. But the hands that built those dreams," he held up Chinedu's rough, scarred palms, "are still here. Nobody can steal your hard work." Those words changed something inside him. The following week, Chinedu borrowed a few old tools. He repaired broken doors, fixed leaking roofs, serviced generators. Word spread quickly. The young man who returned from abroad works harder than anyone. Customers increased. Months passed. He saved every naira himself. This time, nobody handled his money. Nobody made decisions for him. He opened a small workshop, then another. A few years later, young apprentices filled both shops. Whenever they asked why he checked every receipt himself, he smiled. Trust people, but always verify. As for Emeka, nobody knew where he went. Some said he fled to another state. Others claimed gambling eventually destroyed him too. Chinedu never searched for him. He had already buried that chapter of his life. One evening, as he locked his workshop, he looked at the sunset and smiled. 5 years abroad had given him money. Betrayal had taken it away. But wisdom gave him something nobody could ever steal again. The ability to begin again. Because as long as there is life, there is always another chance. based on true life story. Never place blind trust in anyone, whether family, friends, or loved ones, when it comes to your future. Love people, help people, but protect your hard work with accountability and transparency. Trust is valuable, but wisdom is priceless. Tell me in the comment section, if it were you, would you forgive your brother? Would you have reacted differently? I can't wait to read your comments. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and join our growing family. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next story. See you on the next one.